Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. It's nice to see you in this special occasion, especially for the Thesis Defense for Sophia Khairunisa B118 448 with the title of the thesis Extending TAM Theory with Perceived Risk and Social Influence to Measure Consumers' Intention to Use E-Wallet. And we have three examiners here. The first is Bapak Kusudiar Sana PhD. The second examiner is Bapak Ikhwan Susila PhD and myself Supatini. Okay, so before we proceed to the presentation, we can begin our examination today basing basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, Sophie, I will you give the opportunity to present your thesis for 10 minutes, and after that we will have a question and answer session. Okay, you can start now.
Okay, thank you so much for the opportunity today. I'll begin by greeting all the examiners today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much for your time. And today I would like to present my thesis defense on extending TAM theory with perceived risks and social influence to measure consumers' intention to use e-wallet. So these are little walkthrough to the contents of the presentation. First, we'll talk about the research background, and then we will also talk about the research problem, and then next I will give you some theoretical backgrounds, and then we will talk about the research design and methodology, and then we will discuss the results, and then we will also conclude the experiment. Okay, so these are the two key points I have for the research background. First of all, if you notice that how we live today are very different, and it keeps shifting day by day. For example, for the smartphone, Indonesia has a high smartphone penetration rate, and this statistic I got it from Statista. It's a it's an established research agency. If you notice, by now on 2020. Indonesia has almost 70% of smartphone penetration rate, and it also has forecast until 2026, where we have more than 80% of population share in Indonesia who has smartphone. So definitely smartphone brings a lot of digital innovation, and one of those innovation is e-wallet. And the using of e-wallet in Indonesia also keeps growing day by day. Okay, I think you can see the numbers clearer on the paper here on page 3 from the source Boku 2021. It says that from 2020 until projecting to 2025, the users of mobile wallets keeps growing. Well, and we have 5 different noteworthy e-wallets in Indonesia. Here you can see the orange one for Shopee Pay, and then blue one for GoPay, and then OVO, Dana, and also Link Aja. I will tell you more about them on the next slide. So these are the e-wallets I have mentioned before. And we have categorized them in 2 groups. From the one is the embedded e-wallet, and the other is the independent e-wallet. So we have these terms from a research agency also working in a digital technology. And then I will also tell you that the GoPay is embedded in the ecosystem of Gojek, and then Shopee Pay is embedded in the ecosystem of Shopee. Meanwhile, the Dana of an Link Aja is independently work in an application of their own. So you won't find any application named GoPay or Shopee Pay, but you need to find them in their respective ecosystem.
Sorry, what's the difference between, can you explain embedded and independent? What's the difference?
Yeah. Well, the embedded one, as I said, you can only find them, the service of the e-wallet, in the respective ecosystem. So if you want to find the GoPay, you cannot find it in an application. You can only find it in their respective ecosystem in Gojek. So you need to have the Gojek application to find the GoPay service. The same works as Shopee Pay and Shopee. Meanwhile, the Dana offline link aja, you can find them as a standalone application. So if you want to find their service, you just need to download their application and then there you go. And so with these 5 noteworthy e-wallets, we want to measure the consumer's intention of e-wallet, using e-wallet in Indonesia. As we group this, we also want to measure the consumer behavior difference in intention to use e-wallet. Okay, so these are the original and basic theme theory. The theme theory is made up of 2 salient factors: perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use. And as you can see here, the perceived ease of use influence perceived usefulness and attitude. And then the model here, I try to extend them with 2 other variables. Okay, so this theory has been very useful to assess consumer acceptance and utilization of new innovation in information technology. And the reason why I add other variables, because it was recommended in other research that it is strongly recommended to add external variables or more variables to really explain the consumer behavior. Okay, so, and these are the basic, these are the researches I got to extend the theme theory. So perceived risk comes, one of the study that mentioned perceived risk influence the e-wallet usage is FAM et al. Although not only e-wallet, actually any digital payment shall consider this variable, because perceived risk is highly recommended to research on digital payment, because it involves so much risk on how people use their money. And then the social influence, this is from the study of Lee et al. From 2006. And yeah, Lee also mentioned that well, social influence need to be more researched in using in the technological in behavior in using technology. Okay, so from all of that we have the original theme theory, and then the original theme theory model, and then extended by the perceived risk and social influence. If you notice, the first 7 points is actually the extended theme theory model, and then the 8th point is we want to measure how the difference is the consumer behavior between independent and dependent, between independent and embedded e-wallet users. So here are the prior studies. So the theme theory itself has been used not only in e-wallet but also in other digital technologies or digital innovations such as 3G mobile value added service, mobile banking, social networking, and also mobile payment adoption. Okay, so these are the research framework I have. As you can see here, I hope you can see the cursor. Okay, I don't think so. Well, if you can see the upper part here, besides the variable PR and SI, which stands for perceived risk and social influence, are just the original theme model, and then I added the perceived risk and social influence. Well, I do not mediate them through attitude because I didn't find any reference that said so. So this is how I built the model. Overall, we have 7 hypotheses, as you can see here. Okay, and then we will just go on to the research design and methodology. So this is a quantitative exploratory study, and I use convenience random sampling technique. And for the survey, we use an electronic survey with a 5-point Likert scale. And later on, we will also analyze the data using PLSM method using the software Smart PLS. Okay, so this is the demographic profile of the respondents, and then as you can see here, I have divided the users, how they differently behave when they use the Ewallet. And these are the other model analysis. It is for us to measure how this model actually works in measuring the consumer's intention to use Ewallet. In addition, when I want to measure the consumer behavior difference, I use the intermodal analysis on independent Ewallet consumers and also the intermodal analysis on embedded Ewallet consumers. So in comparisons, the independent Ewallet consumer behavior indicated that perceived usefulness is insignificant to the intention to use, and intention to use is not mediated through attitude from perceived ease of use, and intention to use is not mediated through perceived ease of use from perceived usefulness. Well, for the independent Ewallet consumer, it indicates it contrasts with the basic theory, the term that said that perceived usefulness is actually significant to the intention to use. So there must be another factor why they consider this way. And at the end of the day, I conclude that there are differences because due to their offerings and also ecosystem benefit. So if you compare from the embedded Ewallet users and the independent Ewallet users, the embedded Ewallet users shows that they accept all of the hypotheses proposed, but not the same with the independent Ewallet users. So the embedded Ewallet clearly benefit from the ecosystem they are in. For example, GoPay is in the ecosystem of Gojek, and then Shopee Pay is in the ecosystem of Shopee. They provide services which people highly needed compared to the Dana, OVO, and Link Aja in their offerings. These three, when I observe and I try to notice difference, they offer more. Besides e-wallets, they offer investment products and financial products, something that not so familiar for the users yet, compared to Gojek and Shopee, which offers shopping service in Shopee in the e-commerce, or Gojek in ride-hailings or food delivery service. That's more common to use day to day compared to financial products offered in Dana, OVO, or Link Aja. Okay, so the implication is theoretically we have confirmed that the importance of extending the TAM model, and this serve as foundation for many future refined studies, and also highlight consumer behavior difference for intention to use the service. And it practically can be helpful to the digital payment organization, and with a better e-wallet platform, it can lead to higher retention rate. With a higher retention rate, there will be more users and more using, and therefore more profit. So in conclusion, all hypotheses in consumer intention to use e-wallet are accepted, and in contrasting the consumer behavior between independent and embedded e-wallet consumers, there are three key differences that can be highlighted as I mentioned before, and these three key differences highly probably due to the different offerings and also the ecosystem they are in. Okay. Thank you very much. That's all from me. Shall there be any question? I welcome you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for your interesting, very nice. And now we proceed to the question and answer session. For the first opportunity, I will give to Bapak Iwan Susilo PhD to ask Sophie some question.
Thank you, Pak Tini. Hello, Sophie. Good, very good presentation and good research as well. But I have a question about why you distinguish between embedded and independent, and are you using the same respondent to analyze, or you split on two group of the respondent?
I split the.
Right. So how many respondents that you analyze for the embedded, Ewallet, and independent?
Okay, so as you can see here, the demographic profile, I have in total of 320 respondents. And then for the e-wallet, each type I have 160 respondents.
So 160 respondents for the embedded? Or,
Yes.
Right, so?
Both
right.
of them.
Oh, both
Each
of them?
have
Or
160.
you split exactly?
Yeah.
All right, good. So that's very good. I mean, for the how to extend the theory about why consumer the intention to use the e-wallet. But
Yeah.
in your conclusion that how the consumer can be using the e-wallet, but how the company can persuade all of the user how they use the embedded and the independent. Could you explain about this?
I'm not really clear with the question. So you asked about how the company differ them?
Mhm. Because you say that it's different.
Yeah.
You say that it's different.
Yeah.
For me, it's the same because they still a wallet. But you convince us that they are
okay.
different.
Okay, I know, I understand what you mean. So this is what I mean by the difference. First of all, if you check about it, you cannot find GoPay and ShopeePay as a service as an application. So if you want to find GoPay or ShopeePay, you need to download what the ecosystem they are in. So GoPay, then you need to download Gojek, and ShopeePay you need to download Shopee. That's one of the difference. Meanwhile, Dana, OVO, and Link Aja, you can just find them as a standalone apps. And then second, they are different in their offerings. So for example, what I mean by offering is the service they offer to the customers. And then the Gojek is more ride-hailing service, food delivery service, and then day-to-day helper service. So you can find anything there, from going to the market and buying you a movie, concert, cinema, ticket. Well, Shopee, it's more different. It's more an e-commerce service. So people go there to shop, and then eventually when they want to shop, they top up their e-wallet, and then they can use the service or Shopee offered, which is e-commerce, one of them. And then.
But you still use the same of the independent variable for two kind of this e-wallet.
Yes.
So I mean, for the company, they will develop the strategy based on your research, probably, but in the same variable. So what the difference between embedded and e-wallet? Because you still use the same variable, like perceived
usefulness
and then
ease of use. So
they are the same as
okay,
I mean
so
for
you
the GoPay and
do
the
you mean
Dana.
like how the company can benefit? Yeah, because the company can benefit from the TAM theory, I mean from the research model itself, to understand that, for example here, the TAM theory itself said that perceived usefulness is more influential than perceived ease of use. And then from this alone, you can understand, the company can understand that people are actually willing to use the service and learn to use the service when they make it useful for the customers. So as I said here, the embedded e-wallet, the customers find it useful because they can top up the e-wallet and then directly use for the service they want. That's for the first. And then the second point, the independent e-wallet also offers services. They offer services in digital payment. But besides that, they offer services in financial products. These financial product offerings such as gold savings, insurance, and then other financial products are not very familiar yet for the customers, and that's why they tend to top up their digital wallet more in the digital money in the embedded e-wallet due to the service offered. They can use it. They perceive it as useful compared to the Dana Offline e-wallet. Link aja, sorry.
Okay, okay. I think the last question, because I have enough time. In your research, you find that the direct effect and indirect effect of this relationship is significant. So, what's the role of the attitude exactly? Because from the direct and indirect, they are all significant.
Well, before I answer that, I need to highlight to you that there are differences showed in independent e-wallet consumer behavior. That in their behavior, the perceived usefulness is insignificant to the intention of use, the intention to use. But for the other hypothesis, they accept it as what the theory said. Okay, so to answer your question, I will say that well, it means that this same theory model extended with the perceived risk and social influence works just fine. I mean, in the embedded e-wallet consumer behavior, but it's not the same way with the independent e-wallet consumer behavior. That's what I would say.
Pak Wood will guide you about how to write the table, because you know a lot to put the table in spread pages, so it should be in one page. I mean. So you can put more like the font more smaller than this. So a bit difficult to follow this table, because table should be summarize what you have. Okay. So Pak Wood will get you. Okay. So thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Okay. Okay. So the next question, will be asked by myself, because Pak Uut is already your supervisor. Okay, so after you presented your thesis, I realized that there is a difference between the abstract that you mentioned about 340 respondents. Yes, 40. And in chapter 3, in methodology, you said you only will use 100. Is it? If I'm not mistaken.
I can explain that.
So can you explain it?
So with the PLSM method, actually we chose, one of the reasons why we choose this method is because it doesn't need a lot of respondents to ensure how the theory really works. Then the recommended respondents are 100, and it's also useful because the theory has not been tested before, so it is considered weak in the academia discourses. And first of all, that's why I took the number of 100. And then in the first plan B, so we have a minimum of each type of e-wallet of 100. So in total, we aim for 200 people. And then as I got the data, I got in total of 340 respondents. As you said before, 340 respondents. But all of these 340 respondents, it's the data I haven't filtered out. So there are data that are missing some answers, or they have answers, but it is too consistent. So you see, we use a 5-point Likert scale. So it gives a scale on how people really feel about something, but they only answer for one they only answer for the same for all behaviors. So I discarded all of those things, and then we ended up with 320.
But in my mind, is it in order to prevent the confusing of the reader? Just I think that you should write the actual number, the actual number.
You can replace this.
Yeah. So actually, in abstract, you just say 320. Also in the chapter 3, don't say you 100. Yeah. This is.
It's different between proposal and the
maybe
the
100 in your proposal.
Yeah.
Just write in the actual number. The actual number. Okay. And the next question, I do not really agree with the statement that your research is exploratory research, Pak Uut.
Explanatory.
It is explanatory actually, because you just test the hypothesis. Yeah, the main characteristic, the main characteristic of the casual quantitative and explanatory research or causal research is hypothesis testing. This is so you have to change the type of research by the explanatory research. In chapter 3, Pak, in the
I think
I
think the first page of chapter 3.
of chapter 3, I think. The first page. In the page 21.
Page 21.
In research design. Hence, this research is exploratory in nature. This one, Pak. This one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And so clear,
It's
clear,
not
it's explanatory research. Okay. And the next need to confirm is about your method for get the respondent. Actually, you said it's convenient random sampling. Can you?
Actually, not random. Not random.
Because what do you think about random sampling?
I'm thinking of anyone who can be the population of the study.
It's actually not the definition of random sampling. Because random means that everyone have the same chance to be respondent. But actually this kind of sampling method will be applied to the situation that the researcher have the sampling frame. So you know actually for example in university you know exactly the number of students, but it is the consumer. Actually we do know the actual number of consumer that already use the Ewallet. So we cannot use random sampling. Convenient means that you just get the respondent if they willing to train your research. Okay, so it's convenient non-random sampling. Actually convenient itself is non-random sampling. Okay,
I think I've made some typing mistakes there.
And for the chapter 2, I think that it's not really sufficient for the in chapter 2 that I think that you need more explanation about the variable. This is not only about time, that is only one page. I think it's not sufficient. And all the variable must be explained. All the variable like attitude. What is attitude? This is what the importance of attitude. All the variable must be explained in chapter 2. It's not only the big concept, because you only just explain about time theory and Ewallet, only 2, but this I think is not enough.
But you can see in the hypothesis development there is several.
Yeah, but
explanation
in our I don't know how to say that.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
can be take kids. I mean some explanation in attitude can be.
Yeah,
used in the
yeah.
previous-
Just put all the variables before you used to the hypothesis development. Okay, yeah. This is the what we all usually do, yeah, in when we supervise our student, yeah. Okay. Also in chapter 2, yeah, still in chapter 2, I would like to suggest that in the hypothesis development, yeah, the title Pak Ud in chapter in page 16, yeah, is not only the name of variable, but in this part, yeah, reader expect that the researcher will explain about the relationship among the variable. So for example, in page 16, before you want to develop hypothesis 1, yeah. So in the subtitle after hypothesis development, the first one is the effect of perceived usefulness on intention intention to use. It's not only just intention to use, but the titles is show the reader about the relationship about the variable that you want to develop the hypothesis. So
on the content itself, we talk about the relationship actually. If you look at the
this
the format.
The format is it's clear, it's a bit more clear if you just put the title here about so we can expect you want to after that in this part you will discuss about the relationship. And also in the causal research, actually we already agreed that the style that we use is because it's the effect, that we actually maybe better to use the effect of on rather than relationship between. I don't know about the supervisor.
But I found in several international journal.
I know.
Because the effect, the relationship can have a meaning. A relationship can be meaning a correlation. What is like relation? I mean, like what is the effect also is part of relationship.
But maybe in FEB in management, but we usually use the format, again the format, but maybe but what Pak Ud already said, that is maybe it's not really
important. I mean, it's not really what is it? Relationship. It can be used for this.
Okay, so this depend on the supervisor. Okay, but maybe the next is about the before you just write H1, H2. Usually we just we cannot write like this, but it's one by one. So before this one, so for the H2, you have to provide the explanation, before you come to the hypothesis 2. Okay, so it's for all the hypothesis, okay. So and even though Pak Iwan already asked you about the difference between embedded and independent, but still I didn't find the explanation in chapter 3. It's like the operation definition, because in this manuscript, we thought the reader asking the author, they already know about what you mean with the everything that you just discussed in this manuscript. So just put the definition of embedded and independent in this.
Yeah. Actually, this is new. I think this is the novelty. The novelty independent.
Yeah, I know.
Is what.
But that's not a variable. If I have
Yeah.
I mean, the embedded and the independent Ewallet here doesn't work as the variable. The variable I have here is this.
Yeah, I know that, but so I just think that when the reader will know about what do you mean? I don't know. Maybe Pak Uut will get you in which place.
Okay, I think this is the novelty of this research because we found that it's rare about two kind of type of the what is Ewallet, like embedded, and we still.
Maybe you put in the chapter 2. It's maybe okay.
Yeah,
chapter 2, because maybe in the studies, the people already mentioned about this concept about embedded and independent.
Research agency, yes. But
Yeah.
I haven't really found the
Yeah,
terms.
but we can develop the idea. I mean, we must define the operational definition of what is embedded. As a researcher, we have a right to make interpretation of definition of embedded and independent, because this word is it's appeared in the discussion. We don't know what the name of this service is. I think it's embedded and independent. So this came from the discussion. It's not in the literature, but it's a novelty. I think this is the part of the.
Okay, but you still have to chapter 3. Will be okay. Chapter 3 or chapter 2.
Yeah, we can talk later.
Okay.
We can,
So either I put it
because
on the
it's not variable. It's not variable.
It's not variable. It's not variable.
It's like a research setting.
Yeah.
Then
Okay.
literature review.
Yeah, maybe just discuss with your supervisor. Okay. And still in chapter 3, I can't find the mediating variable in explanation about the variable. Yeah. Even though Pak Irwan already asked you about the difference between embedded and independent, but still I didn't find the explanation in chapter 3. It's like the operation definitions. Yeah, because in this manuscript, without the reader asking the author, they already know about what you mean with the everything that you just discussed in this manuscript. So just put the definition of embedded and independent in this.
Yeah. Actually, this is new. I think this is the novelty. The novelty independent and embedded is what.
But that's not a variable, if I have to argue. I mean, the embedded and the independent Ewallet here doesn't work as the variable. The variable I have here is this.
But so I just think that when the reader will know about that, what do you mean? I don't know. Maybe Pak Uut will get you in which place.
Okay, I think. This is the novelty of this research because we found that it's rare and about two kind of type of the
Ewallet,
like embedded, and we still.
Maybe you put in the chapter 2. It's maybe okay. Chapter 2, because maybe in the previous studies, the people already mentioned about this concept about embedded and independent.
Research agency, yes, but I haven't really found the terms in academic journals.
We can develop the idea. I mean, we must define the operational definition of what is embedded.
Okay.
As a researcher, we have a right to make interpretation of definition of embedded and independent, because this word is it's appeared in the discussion. We don't know what the name of this service is. I think it's embedded and independent. So this came from the discussion. It's not on the literature, but this. In Novelty, I think this is the part of the.
Okay, but you still have to put
Yes.
in the chapter.
Okay.
Chapter 3, would be okay. Chapter 3 or chapter 2.
Yeah, we can talk later.
Okay.
We can,
So either I put it on
because
the.
It's not very. It's not very.
It's not a problem.
It's
So
not
It's
I
like a research setting.
think then literature review.
Yeah, tapi.
Okay. Well, I will.
Yeah, discuss with your
Ask.
supervisor.
I will
Okay.
discuss with him.
And still in chapter 3, I can't find the mediating variable in explanation about the variable. Yeah, maybe if I'm not mistaken, so only just mention
Right.
about independent and dependent. Yeah?
Can I go over there and?
Okay, mediating variable. Okay, so but actually, how many mediating variable in your paragraph? Because in here only one attitude. Yeah, but actually, based on the hypothesis 3, yes, hypothesis 3, PE.
You can say that the perceived usefulness is also mediating here. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, because you test the indirect effect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this mediating?
Yes, it's
Oh.
Yeah,
mediating.
so yeah.
It's mediating.
Okay, so the mediator not only attitude. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For the table is, for example, you see in page 58, 59, you see that it's like the table is
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll fix that.
like a broken table. And also in the heading for the chapter 3, research design and methodology is not methodology. Just put research method,
Oh.
not research design and methodology. Just chapter 3 is research method.
Okay.
Enough. Research method. And also the formatting of in the theoretical. In developing hypothesis, like putting suggestion, and also the questionnaire. I think it's better if you developing in English too,
Yes,
not only
English
in-
version. Yeah.
But actually, we developed that first in English and then
Yeah.
I translated
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
yeah, but you need to attach the English
English,
version
okay.
of your questionnaire here as well.
I think enough.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Pak Uut, for the supervising Sophie, and we have fruitful discussion in this examination.
Okay.
So congratulations that you already finished your final project, Sophie. So we need to ask Sophie to leave this
Yes.
room first before we just
Yeah.
have discussion about the score. Yeah. Okay. So we can end this session first. Yeah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah, so thank you very much for the session. And okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will end this with Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Ah, yeah, sure.